Hi everyone. So welcome to the another video of Jenkins tutorial. So today in this video we'll see how to trigger our job with email option. So far we have seen build periodically, poll ACM option to trigger our Jenkins job, right? So we have one more option where you can send some email to a particular email ID. So based on that email trigger, it will build the job automatically. Okay. So for that one, you have to add this first plugin, which is poll mailbox, right? So this is a plugin that you have to add your Jenkins. So go to your manage plugin. So here you will find that plugin under this available tab, right? So in your case, it will be coming in the available tab. So already I have installed. So that's the reason I can see in the installed tab. Okay. So when I do this one, so you can see now, this is a plugin that I have installed already. So that's the reason I'm seeing it in the installed tab. In your case, it will be coming under the available tab. Okay. So once this is installed, so what we have to do next, we have to select some project or you can create some project. Okay. So in our case, we have created so many projects already. So I will pick this project, which is extend report. So basically this is project will, it is a Maven project. It will execute the build and it will generate the extend report. Okay. So that we have already covered as a part of extend report integration with the Jenkins. Okay. So you have to go to the configure. Under the configure, you will find option called poll mailbox trigger option. Okay. So I'm going to the configuration. So here under the build trigger, right? So we have seen build remote, trigger build remotely, build periodically, and we have seen this GitHub hook trigger for Git ACM polling, right? And poll ACM also we have covered in the previous sessions. So for this one, we have to check this poll mailbox trigger, right? So once you added that plugin to your Jenkins, so you will you will be getting this option. Okay, so once you select this one, so here we can see this. So when you go to this question mark, right? So here you can see the what's the host name, right? So this is a plugin that we have added. So here you can, here you can see and what are the configurations we can do. So you can use Gmail, you can use Hotmail, and all these 360. There are list of email services we have. So for our case, we'll go with the Gmail. Okay, so for demo, I'm taking my Gmail for this configuration. So this is a configuration that we have to do. Okay, either you can use this Gmail IMAPS or you can use this POP 3S. Okay, so you select this one. As soon as you select this, host will be default Gmail one. If you want to select, if you want to use a Hotmail, you can use this one. Okay. Okay, after that we have to give the the username. So in our case, my username, my email ID is QA learn together. Okay, so that is the email ID I'm using. So you have to give the respective password also. Okay, so after that you have to click on this advanced tab. So when you click on the advanced tab, here you can see the advanced email properties, right? So when you click on this advanced, this question mark, so you can see the description. So what is the configuration we have to set up? Okay, so I will take this configuration for search configurations. Okay, so whenever you send the email, it will come to your inbox, right? So my search condition is I have to look for my inbox where the subject name is contains as a Jenkins, or you can give anything. Okay, so for this case, I will simply give us a trigger. Okay, so otherwise trigger my job. Okay, so this is a subject I'm passing through the email. Okay, so whatever the email that you send for this Gmail account, you have to tell that this is my subject. Okay, so trigger my job is my subject. So you can go for additional configuration also. You can refer this one. This is kind of a key value pair. Okay, once this is done, then you have to compare this schedule, right? The schedule is like a build periodically where you have to use the cron job style, right? So here, as per this default one, so what we have given every 5 minutes, it will check your email. This account. So with the header of, with the subject of this one, right? So this is a string value, and this is a key value that we are sending to trigger the job through the email. Okay. So for in this case, so you can like tell us a 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes it will look for your email ID. This particular email that comes from the, comes to this account with the subject of trigger my job. Okay. So here you can see I have set for the 10 minutes. So I will change back to the 5 minutes again. Okay, so now you can see this is last run was like 11:40. So the next run would be like a 11:45. Okay, so we have to wait for 11:45. So after this, you don't want to do anything here. So once this is done, you can click on this test connection, right? So we have to make sure this our configuration is getting connected to our email ID or not. So before this, what you have to do, you have to go to your email account. So go to your Gmail and go to your manage your Google account option. So here by default, the security, right? So when you go to the security tab, so here when you go down, so here you can see the less secure apps access, right? So this will be automatically as an off. Okay. So you have to make it this on. Okay. So by default, it will be off. So once this is off, you cannot access this one. Okay. So you make sure you have, switched on this option under the security, your Google accounts. So here you have to come less secure apps. Okay. So this is the way they will communicate to our Gmail ID. Okay, so if it is off, then you cannot use this one. Okay, so I am switching on now. Okay, let's check it is on or off. Okay, now you can see this is switched on. Okay, so which means I can access this email through this configuration. Okay, so as soon as you enable this option, you will get some email like a critical security alert. Okay, so you can ignore this one now. So once you're done, you can switch off that configuration. Okay, so this is a configuration we have. By default, we are using a Gmail one, and you have to give the email ID that you want to look for the mails. Okay, and you have to give the password as well. And this is a configuration that we have. So subject contains. So this is my subject. So whatever the email that I'm going to send to this email ID, it has to contain this subject. Okay, so trigger my job, and it will each 5 minutes it will keep on poll to my my Gmail account, and it will try to fetch the email with the subject of trigger my job. Okay, once this is done, you can simply click on save. Okay, so sorry. Before that, you have to make sure the connection is working, right? So that's where we left actually. So again, go to the configure. So there you find an option called test connection. Okay, so now we can go to this configuration, whatever we have did. Okay, so here you will find an option called test connection, right? So when you click on this test connection, it will try to reach your Google account, your Gmail account. Here you can see connecting to the mailbox. And these are the properties, and it is searching for the folder, and there are no match found, right? So which means there are no matches like so there is no inbox, email in inbox with the header of, with the subject of this trigger my job, right? So that is what is it's looking for it. So the result is success. So which means it's able to connect, but there are no folder, such a folder, right? So inbox, there are no emails with the subject. Okay, you can simply click on this save. Okay, so now what happens? So whenever you send the email to this particular email ID, it will automatically trigger the job within the 5 minutes, because the poll that we have set for every 5 minutes, right? So now what I will do, I will go to my email. I will compose one email. Okay, so I'm sending to the my same email ID only. Okay, so the subject is what we have said, trigger my job, right? So I have to type my, same subject line here as well, trigger my job. Okay, this is a subject that we have configured in our Jenkins. So when you click on the send, it will send the email to a particular email ID. Okay, so I got this email ID. So we'll go to this Jenkins now. We'll wait for a 5 minutes. Okay, so our last build was number one, right? So when you go to this build, you can see the console. This is started by the admin. Okay, so we'll wait for a 5 minutes, and we'll see the build true is getting triggered or not. Okay, so now you can see the build is triggered, right? So 11:48 a.m. my local time, which is, so the build is started now. So when you go to this build, okay, so here you can see the option called poll mailbox trigger. The job was triggered by the email sent from, this is the email ID that I am using. Okay, so you can go to the console to watch out all the things. So here you can see this is again, you can see as a poll mailbox trigger. Okay, so job is started, which is, we have sent the email to this email ID, right? So that's the reason the build is, build is started now, and it is in progress. So here you can see Maven clean is started, right? So we'll wait for the build to be completed. So this is the way you can, differentiate, right? So the build one was triggered manually by user admin. Okay, it started by the admin. I'm logged as admin user. So this one you can see, this is triggered by the email poll option, right? So, poll mailbox trigger. This is the option we have selected for the triggering our build. Okay. So since you have sent one email ID, one email to this particular email. So that's the reason it started. It could be any email ID. From any account you can send. So it will look for the only this account. Where it get reached to the particular the configuration that we have given in the Jenkins. So this is the email ID that I have configured in the Jenkins, right? So keyway learn together is the email ID. So once that email reaches to this inbox, it will automatically search. I mean, it will hold to your Gmail Gmail account. If it is found with the same header, I mean same subject line, it will trigger the job. Okay. So these are the things you have to add the plugins. You have to configure this one in your Jenkins project. After that, you have to give the username password of the your particular email ID and in the subject, right? So you have to maintain the subject. After that, you can schedule that grant job. So like every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes or every 1 hour, you can select. And you have to send the email to the particular email ID. These are the steps that we have to follow to trigger our job using this poll email box option. Okay, poll mailbox trigger. So still this is, the build is running. So here you can see the test is started now. So now you can see this build is started and there are some failures. So the build is success but and it generates the report also. Okay, so forgot about this error. This is failing due to some other reasons, but we have successfully triggered this job by using the poll email box option, right? So if I send one more email to this account, right? So again it will trigger the one more job which is build number 3. Okay, so I will send one more email to this particular account. Okay, so the subject will be trigger, right? Trigger my job. Okay, again I'm sending this email. I have sent one more email. So here you can see one more email has received. So now you can go back to your Jenkins. So we'll just refresh and we'll wait for a 5 minutes. Okay, so every 5 minutes it will fall to your Gmail account. If it is, the subject with a particular email is found, then you can see the bill will start one more time. Okay, so now we can go to the configure. And when we did this test connection, right, there are no failure. No search folder with particular that email subject, right? So now if you go to this configure again, if you go for test connection, now you can see there will be some results because we have sent two emails to the particular Gmail account, right? So I will show you that now. Okay. So when you click on this test connection, now you can see the results will come. Okay, here you can see one match is found, right? So trigger by job. So that is the mail sent by 11:52 a.m. So my local time is 11:53. So we have sent this mail by 11:52, right? So the first email you can see it here. It is coming as 11:52 a.m. right? So that is what it has found that folder. Okay, so we have one match found. So now it will execute our build. So we'll wait for some time. We can see this is build 3 is started or not. Okay, now we can see build 3 is started now. Okay, so this one also automatically started by the poll email box option, right? You can see this there. Okay, so this is how we use we will trigger the Jenkins job with the email option. Okay, so these are the things that we have to, these are the steps that we have to follow to take this, to make this happen. Okay. So if you guys, that's all about this video. If you guys have any doubt or any comments, please feel free to update in the comment section and please do subscribe to my channel as well as share the video if you like. Okay. Thank you guys.